What's up, YouTube? And I'm back at you with another video. And in this video, I'm doing my prediction for the Iron Bowl between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers. Look forward to this game every year. In-state rivalry. It's rivalry week for every school in college football. And I'll just go ahead and get into it. We already know, for the most part, you really can just throw all the stats out, you know, between these two teams. I'm gonna still read off, some stats and give you a little background on what each team did this season so far. First team we'll start off with the Auburn Tigers. Um, Auburn this year had some up and downs, but they probably had more downs than they're accustomed to this season. A lot of hype's coming to the season, hiring Hugh Freeze as their head coach. In my opinion, Hugh Freeze is a really, really good coach. Uh, he just had to come in and inherit a team that wasn't really good, and he was tasked with coming in and trying to build a program back up. And he has since went in the transfer portal, and he got a guy at the quarterback position in Peyton Thorne. Uh, whole offseason, people was high on him coming in, being able to pass the ball, but that wasn't really the case, for much of the season. But so far, he's thrown for 1,580 yards. He has a completion percentage of 64.9. He has 14 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So, like I said, up and down, he got 14 touchdowns, but he got, 7, interceptions. So, um, not really good stats. Um, you if you're a fan of any football team, you definitely want those stats to be better. But he's currently their best option at, attempting to pass the ball downfield. Robbie Ashford was there the year before. So far, he's only thrown for 145, and like I said, he was playing behind Peyton Thorne. Uh, Robbie Ashford has the legs, and was trying to bring Peyton Thorne in to be able to pass the ball, but he has been inconsistent with that, and that's some things they have to work on, you know. But what Auburn's really, really good at though is running the ball. And Jacquez Hunter has 772 yards rushing for the Auburn Tigers. He's averaging 5.8 yards a carry. He has 7 touchdowns on the season. So Auburn is a really, really good rushing team. Actually, Peyton Thorne is the second guy behind him. Uh, so you got two guys in Robbie Ashford and Peyton Thorne that can really, really run the ball. Peyton Thorne has 463 yards on the ground rushing. He's averaging 4.2 yards a carry. And he has 3 touchdowns on the season. So definitely a guy that can, run the ball, if given the opportunity. The Alabama Crimson Tide going to have to be able to plug in the holes and just watch out for him scrambling, and taking off, running the ball, as well as Jacquez Hunter, a really, really good running back for the Auburn Tigers. They do also have Brian Batty. Uh, he has 227 yards rushing. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He only has 1 touchdown on the season, but uh, really the second guy in rushing touchdowns, even though he's not second in rushing yards. Peyton Thorne's the second in rushing yards, but Robert Ashford actually has 5 rushing touchdowns with 220 yards rushing. So between him and Jacquez Hunter, man, two elite guys that can run the ball. Like I said, Robert Ashford uh, can be put in situations where he's going to be trying, potentially try to pass the ball as well. So definitely a team that Alabama has to play disciplined defense. Can't get mixed up with uh, potential eye candy that maybe Hugh Freeze might decide to do in this matchup. Hugh Freeze is a very, very good offensive-minded coach. So the Alabama Crimson Tide going to have to be on their P's and Q's. Receiving wise, like I said, not going to have too many, standing out stats for the Auburn Tigers. Like I said, passing game has been inconsistent, but Rivaldo Fairweather, tight end for Auburn, he's leading right now. He has 349 yards receiving. He's averaging 10.6 yards a reception, and he has 6 touchdowns on the season. They also have 3 other guys that got 2 touchdowns apiece, and Jay Fair, wide receiver, Javarius Johnson, wide receiver, and Shane Hooks. So Auburn has some guys, that they can get the ball to, just a matter of how consistent they can be passing the ball. And like I said, it all falls on Peyton Thorne to get that job done. He came in from Michigan State to come in and be the guy, but just Auburn has struggled, offensively this season. So definitely got to get that fixed. Now defensively, Auburn is not bad. You know, Auburn. I think the defense has suffered because of the offense. Auburn doesn't have a bad defense at all, in my opinion. Eugene Asante, he has total tackles with 79 total tackles. He had 49 solo with 30 assisted. He has 5 sacks on the season and 1 pass defended. So this Auburn team got some guys, man, that can get out there on the defense. Jalen Simpson at cornerback, he has 4 interceptions. The only thing about it, it's hard to gauge Auburn defensively because they have the guys that can get it done, but they played very well early on in the season when Georgia went on the road to play them, and they held Georgia to 27 points. That could be a credit to Georgia not settling in completely offensively, but they hosted Auburn at home. Playing in Jordan Hare is a really really hard place to play, and Auburn came close to winning that matchup. They played Georgia great the whole game. Just at the end, Brock Bowers, man, he just a beast of a player. But Auburn, man, had a chance in that matchup. And it's head scratching because Auburn just took a severe loss to New Mexico State. I don't get it. They was getting bullied at the line of scrimmage by those guys. So it's kind of hard. Was Auburn up for the game, or did they just get physically outdone? I think New Mexico State had some guys over there, and they shocked Auburn. But you would think Auburn had a much better chance, to win against Georgia. And no way you would say that New Mexico State is better than Georgia. So it's just a head scratcher. But the point of the matter is Auburn has a team, and they're going to get up for this matchup. Uh, both of these teams can have a losing season, but either one of these teams can upset the other one. It's always you can always end off on a good note. So uh, Auburn's defense, Larry Nixon. I mean, they got guys over there. Jalen McLeod. They have a lot of guys. They can get the job done. It just can they get some consistency from their offense? It's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, like I said, it all depends on what Auburn that we get. Now I'm gonna read off Alabama stats. Alabama didn't start off really really well this offseason. This beginning of the season, but they have found their identity. It seems. They struggled after that second loss. Not second loss, the second week loss to Texas. Alabama has turned around. The USF game was kind of questionable, but ever since that game, Alabama has steadily trended up, offensively. For the most part, the defense has played well, but offensively, Jalen Merrill, 2,267 yards of passing, 66.4 yards, 66.4 completion percentage. He has 19 touchdowns with 6 interceptions. Greatly increased, his confidence. You see him out there now. He seems like he's very, very confident, and definitely need to clean up turnovers. Though he made a pick in his last. I think not the last matchup, but against Kentucky was the last SEC opponent before we played Chattanooga. But definitely needs to clean up some things, man. Get more comfortable in the intermediate passing game, but he's growing, and that's the main thing. It seems like each time we see him, he's improved, and he's getting more and more comfortable. So definitely the guy on the team. He's actually third on the team also in rushing with 332 yards rushing with 12 touchdowns. So he has the most touchdowns on the season, rushing touchdowns on the season. And he got some guys behind him in Jason McClellan, 737 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. Rodell Williams, 467 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Both of those guys are averaging right at 5 yards a carry. Jam Miller is another guy that it seems like Alabama's getting him more involved. He has 160 yards rushing. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry, and he has one touchdown on the season. And then Justice Haynes, he has two, 137. I think he's going to be a secret weapon. I don't know if we're going to unleash him anytime soon, but he's definitely a guy to look out for. But the Alabama running back room, including Jalen Miro, Alabama has a very, very good running game. Wasn't always like that, but it seems the O-line has gelled. Caden Proctor at left tackle seems like he's settling in. He's only a freshman, so this Alabama run game looks really, really good, especially after they inserted Jaden Roberts. That guy's a beast uh, on the O-line, especially in the rushing attack. So Alabama has a really, really good running game. Both of the guards, Tyler Booker and Jaden Roberts, man, it's just really, really good offensive line. And Ty Simpson is another guy. I'm gonna be honest. I feel confident that Ty Simpson can get the job done if he's called for Alabama Crimson Tide to come in and make some plays. He has 179 yards passing, and he has a 55 uh, completion percentage, which is not good, but uh, he doesn't have the reps, like Jalen Miro. He's the starter, but definitely a good quarterback play and run game for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Wide receiver, Jermaine Burton, 642 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. Isaiah Bond, this guy, if we get Isaiah Bond the ball more, I think this guy could potentially be the leading receiver, man. Isaiah Bond got some burners on him. He can definitely take off, and I don't feel like we actually utilize him as much as we can. He kind of puts me in the mind of, how Jalen Waddle was, just a dynamic wide receiver. But he has 467 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 13.7 yards average. Jermaine Burton is getting 22 yards average. Kobe Prentice is another guy. He's third on the team right now with 282 yards receiving. Amari Knoblack at tight end, 280. Another guy that I feel needs to get involved. But guys like Jalen Hill, freshman, Malik Benson is coming along, got some catches last game. Kendrick Law, watch out for him. I think he's going to be a player to look out for as well for the Alabama Crimson Tide receiving corps. But Alabama's just deep at the wide receiver position. And the Alabama offense has greatly improved after that uh, second week loss to Texas. Defensively, Caleb Downs, what can I say? Freshman, leading the team with 90 total tackles. The second best tackler on the team is Jahad Campbell, and he has 57 total tackles. So that just goes to show you Caleb got 90. Jahad Campbell has 57. So that just shows you how good of a player Caleb Downs is, man. 2 interceptions on the season, 2 passes defended. Caleb Downs is everywhere. Terry Arnold, uh, very, very good cornerback. In my opinion, he's outperforming Kool-Aid. He's a really, really good guy. He has 3 interceptions on the season already. So a really, really good player in Terry Arnold with 10 passes defended. Seems like teams go away from Kool-Aid because Kool-Aid is really, really good. They try to attack Arnold, and he's stepping up to the plate. So I really love that back end of the Alabama defense, man. The secondary is really, really good. They may give us some plays here and there, but the secondary is really, really good in my opinion. Linebacker play, outside of Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell, um, Tresman Marshall, in my opinion, still has some things he needs to work on. I don't think he's as dynamic as Lawson and Campbell, but the Alabama inside linebacker position has greatly improved from last season. No offense to Henry To'oTo'o, but these guys seem more physical, and it seems like they know what they're doing outside of, in my opinion, Tresman Marshall. He shot some wrong gaps a few times. All of them may do that from time to time, but it seems like Tresman Marshall does it more often than anybody. But really, really good linebacker play. D-line, really, really good D-line. Dallas Turner, guy to watch out for. Chris Braswell got a targeting call in the last matchup, but I think he should be good to go against Auburn in the first half. Tim Keenan, this guy has emerged. Just a really, really good defensive lineman guy. It's quick, gets a lot of pressure. Tim Smith, the list goes on. Just a lot of different guys Hopefully, we get Devontae Smith back from injury. He's a really, really good player as well. So, this Alabama defense so far this season has been carrying the team, and they've done a phenomenal job. But it seems like the team is playing good as a whole. Uh, Another thing, Alabama has a special kicker in Will Reichert, man. For the most part, he's just been really, really good for us. 18 field goal attempts, and he made 16 of the, field goals. So missed two. Uh, I believe it was against Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. He missed two field goals in that matchup. But Alabama, the offense definitely stepped up in his, and him, having a bad day. But definitely one of the best kickers in the whole, college football uh, in the country, in college football. So really, really good kicker. I'm gonna read off some more stats. I'm gonna read off the last five opponents for each team. I'm gonna start with Auburn. Auburn lost to Ole Miss at home, 28-21. Gave Ole Miss a really, really good game. Beat Mississippi State 27-13. Zach Arnett has since been fired from Mississippi State. So Mississippi State just a team that just didn't really live up to their potential this season, in my opinion. Um, Auburn beat Vanderbilt on the road 31-15. They beat Arkansas 48-10. It seemed like everything was going well for Auburn. Beating Arkansas, 48-10, was just able to put up a lot of points. And then, like I said, have a head scratching loss to New Mexico State, and crazy lost to them 31-10. Auburn just couldn't get anything going. New Mexico State just physically outdid them in all facets of the game. So Uh, I don't know what happened in that matchup, but best believe Auburn is going to be prepared in this matchup against Alabama. So Alabama should not go in there taking this game lightly, because Auburn is going to play as hard than anybody this season, in my opinion. Last 5 points for Alabama. They beat Arkansas 24-21. Like I said, a really, really tough Arkansas team. Auburn did better against Arkansas than Bama did. Granted, Arkansas seems like a team that's checked out, this season. Rumors going around that they don't want Sam Pittman there, but I think I heard that he's coming back for the 2024 season. So, but a really, really good Arkansas team that played everybody tough outside of Auburn. Alabama beat Tennessee 34-20. Got their revenge from last season. At that time, Tennessee had a pretty good game against us. Joe Milton showed up in that matchup. Since then, he hasn't really shown up, but they played us good in that matchup. Scored on opening drive, but Alabama settled down in the second half and then allowed Tennessee to score any points in the second half. So, really good victory for Alabama. Alabama beat LSU at home, got their revenge against them, beat them 42-28. Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, the Heisman front runner, win it. Win it all. The Heisman Trophy. Really, really good player at the time. LSU had the number one offense in the country, so Alabama got a big home victory there. Alabama went on the road to Kentucky, beat them 49-21. A Kentucky team that they allowed, in my opinion, to get some momentum, because Alabama could have really beat them worse than what they did, but Kool-Aid muffed the punt, and they was able to recover, and it was in good field position to score the touchdown. But nevertheless, Alabama put up 49. If I'm not mistaken, that was their best performance against SEC opponent this whole season. So really, really good matchup against Kentucky on the road. And of course, in their last matchup, they beat University of Chattanooga 66-10. So uh, really, really good matchups for both teams. Uh, Currently, Alabama is 10-1, 7-0 in conference play. Auburn is 6-5, 3-4 in conference play. So the game's going to be on the road at Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Alabama has to go on the road. I'm looking at the current line right now. It's 14.5 points. But I had to give my prediction for this game. Of course, I'm picking my Alabama Crimson Tide. I think this is going to be a tough matchup. It always is. Auburn's going to throw the kitchen sink at Alabama, of course. Um, but I think Alabama's going to come into this matchup, focused and prepared. Alabama has goals, and goals is to not lose another game going forward. But got to take care of this Auburn team, and Auburn is going to give everything that they have. I already know it. Uh, if any team, if there's a few teams out there that can potentially beat Alabama, any team could beat anybody on any given day. But a few coaches out there that have done it, and Auburn's head coach has beat Alabama with Nick Saban at the helm twice. Hugh Freeze has beaten Nick Saban twice in a row. So uh, this Auburn team is very, very dangerous in my opinion. They're going to present problems for Alabama, but I think Alabama's going to come out with the victory. I can see somewhere a 14-point victory, but it's either going two ways. I think it may be close, like 14 point, well, not close, but 14 points, or Alabama can score even more. At this point, Alabama's trying to get in the playoffs, and it wouldn't shock me if Alabama get north of 40 points in this matchup, trying to, get some style points, to try to make it look good on the record, considering that they started off slow early on in the season. So Alabama has a lot of things they got to get, they got to get it going offensively and defensively. But I think they're going to beat Auburn, but it's always, crazy playing in Jordan here. It's like voodoo is in the air up there and stuff like that. And but I think Alabama's going to be prepared. I don't think Auburn has it all, put together right now. But give it time. Hugh Freeze is going to have that program playing at a very, very high level once he gets his type of players there. But that's all I have for the video. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.